So, we're just doing what we're doing, okay? Just making myself available to teach people if they're wanting to learn about diamond energy. But I might just read an excerpt out of the book, which is Diamond Magic's Master Self-Mastery Level 1. So we teach on the bones of self-mastery, the bones of quantum law, who we are as a soul-driven being working with the quantum field, and how we are actually utilizing quantum law to become or to create whatever it is that we're wanting to create. It's a beautiful thing, an absolute magnificent thing that we are as quantum human beings. But tonight I thought I'll just read an excerpt. Okay, so it's page 308 of the new book that's out, okay, called Soul Descending is the True Government. So the new consciousness, the new dreaming, diamond matrix is soul descending as a real action into the solar plexus and up into the heart chakra of the individual. This is what is happening. This is a sovereignty that we're seeking and placing into total power to govern in us, through us, and by us. We, me and you, each earth individual are now voting in the new true soul government. We, the people, are the present lawmakers, and we are forming the new government. The totality of the board of directors is within you, as your soul is the triune being as one. Isn't that beautiful? They are the divine masculine, divine feminine, and inner child together. And oh, surprise, yes, one more part, the divine inner child. They eagerly interact and move as one within us. They operate in complete harmony without independence from one another. They move and act without thought or squabble as one being. They do not squabble about gender, as they are all gender. It is simply the way that it is. One cannot be without the other in one motion. They are the wisdom, love, and power. The bigger part of you has all of this, and all we have to do is let go of the little will and our own disconnected laws to partake and cooperate with the bigger you. Isn't that beautiful? It is the little human will being, so clever in former lifetimes, that has split the ultimate divine into two genres and only utilized bipartisan being. Look at our worlds, look at our separation from one another, look at our bipartisan, look at who and how we fight, and whom we suppress and oppress. Look at whom we esteem. Look at how we oppress ourselves. Look at our human laws and law structures and our beliefs that oppress the divine action of being whole. This is where oppression exists. To serve a male-oriented God without the divine feminine or mother God, or serving and honoring the divine feminine, the goddess, without the doing power of the divine masculine. Right here is oppression, utilizing one without the other. We are our own oppressor. The day I realized this was the day that I met my soul. The human church and the nation states have ruled in society with foolish and torturous misuse of the loving divine masculine. The pagan of us have ruled with the divine feminine, but without in co-union of the divine masculine and the divine feminine together. We have given our very bodies in worship and martyrdom, and yet it was never required, but totally believed and devoutly followed. These behaviors are never required, but were highly influential at the time, as humans chose to evolve into this. Soul and the greater are always complete and unaffected. Little will governance through conquering utilized one force against another. Here, there is much poverty and self-oppression, even within the individual and their lifestyle. It was never necessary to lose one's life to gain it, but has been interpreted as so. Generous abundance is not experienced as that of the divine masculine's doing power to bring through the opulence that the divine feminine dreams up with the greatest joy of the inner child to live it. Let's rewrite that in the positive. Generous abundance is experienced as it is the divine masculine's doing power to bring through the opulence of all that the divine feminine dreams up with the greatest joy of the inner child to live it. But the negative is not real. Soul has no gender issue. Indeed, they have no issue. Soul has no issue in duality. When a person experiences soul, or even in a split second, you will realize there is no gender, no lack of equality, no poverty, no struggle, no sickness, no need to fix or change anything. Allow this, and we'll see everything that we have ever desired to manifest on this earth, that it will come. The new system of governance is within us, the government of soul, the I am presence, and our soul fire will bring its perfect harmony. It is now time for the democracy of the people. We will not be governed. The soul individual will self-govern and then participate collectively. This is where the individual heart is opening, and many are hearing the call. The design of the diamond matrix and new dreaming may wobble as false creations pixelate and then collapse, and they surely will collapse in this quantum world of the little will that seeks power from another instead of union with all. This will happen, though cords are strengthening and global change is presenting nicely. Isn't that beautiful? If we, the original caretakers, fight for recognition rather than be as one who is already sovereign, then all of the rights and adherences in the world, like placing women in powerful positions or giving them certain percentage of a vote or really great wages, will not complete this movement in its extraordinary simplicity, but instead create a greater complicity. That is why in the physical government and this world, women still struggle to find footing in a man's world, ever seeking as victims of non-equality a place of position and power to be given to them by male counterparts. Interesting that we asked for that. Why be put into power in a man's world by the equal rights movement? Wouldn't a woman want to be there simply because of complete self-merit as a sovereign being? We are asking for crumbs, and hence the oppression of women still exists. We create the boards, corporations, interglobal conferences, international funding bodies, and inter-sovereignty movements that can turn it all immediately into a pseudo-exclusive hierarchical system that will simply take another form of civil unrest and keep the new bureaucracy busy. It creates jobs, activities and commerce in Plan B, but will not create sovereignty of a human being, nor its kind for Plan A. As Spirit told me, this form of movement and desires within people is helpful, but is not the fast track to sovereignty. Soul sovereignty. Unknown to that gentleman, I am an original. I am a law woman and a diamond light body recoded with the heart chakra opened, and my triune being activated, and a woman at that. All of us humankind, men, women, and children, have great wisdom, knowledge, and power built into our vibrational frequency for this day to bring to the table all that needs to be noticed, reactivated, listened to, and the solutions to be acted on. All are having dreams and visions. All are being pulled by our various souls right now into our destiny. None is greater than another. This is the greatest grassroots movement in the history of mankind. Deny no one entry to speak or share their message, as for the time being you may not recognize a soul leader. In the name of the very mother energy the gentleman was passionately wanting to see brought into this world, he utilized mockery and insult against a woman that he did not know nor seek to know. Simple inquiry would have been sufficient, and acceptance of something new to ponder. How do you feel right now as you read this? Right there is the evidence of the condition of your heart. Open it wider, because an extraordinary time is coming and we need you in your wisdom, love, and power to do what you really came to do, to affect change. Since a child, almost every day, whether my eyes are open or closed, I experience continuous streams of the world's original faces from all nationalities form and morph in front of me, one original face to another, in detailed, rapid succession. How it is done in advertising and on television. They continually visit. They are smiling, wise and knowledgeable. I see the lines etched in their faces, in their eyes, their teeth. I see the Caucasian Indigenous morph into the Asian Indigenous, morph into the American Indian families, morph into Indian, the Oriental, the African. Or wise original faces from all races and continents, most days morph before my eyes.
Hello.
The Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders, the Maori, the islands, the women elders and the male elders from all tribes, clans and all nationalities. This soul fire movement is deadly. It is within us all from every continent, heritage and colour. All originals are one with nature, are the earth, and one with the cosmos, with us and in us. Make no mistake, our blood comes from these where they're sourced globally. We are all of original heritage. This is an inclusive, not an exclusive movement. We think that we are all displaced peoples. No, we are deliberate travelers, explorers and adventurers. The desire to explore and expand by our divine inner child makes us this. Our displacements have always had the greater soul behind it. Our soul shifts through global events to move the little-willed souls who will not willingly move into new time and spaces, even events from across the world. So feel Australia, feel the US, feel Croatia, Scotland, feel Germany, feel Japan. Where do you long for? Then you'd better go and experience who you really are as a soul individual. Etched well in my mind and spirit and alive in my vibrational frequency, I remember why I'm here and what I am here for, and that is to teach and preserve the purity and keep on track the new dreaming, the diamond matrix, so that we all keep the vision pure and grow our wisdom base from within us. This is the connection to my inner being via the soul fire and in union with soul. This alone gives me the right to speak, to know, to express, and interestingly enough, to speak up for those where organized rights and adherences are being directed, controlled, and led into the same format as it always has been in the Monopoly games. Ah. Hi, Alexandra.
Hello.
I've just done a reading because I thought that I'd do that, and then you popped your little hi in the middle of it. I'm going to release it though, because I think it's a wonderful message on what soul governance is and what's actually happening in this time. So I just opened it up, and it's about the soul descending into our vibrational body. That is the true action. That's what's actually happening right now. The soul is descending into the body. And it's very interesting. The soul actually birthed when we were in an embryonic state in the womb, and the body elemental was forming the physical body, and the soul comes to the physical body and says, hello. And the body elemental goes, who are you? And the soul goes, I'm your friend, okay? And they actually integrate, and the soul actually begins its integration into the brain and into the physical body. And then the destiny of consciousness is awakened within the physical body that is actually made from Gaia. And so this is the beautiful thing, that Lady Gaia is actually of the earth body and part of us, and that the soul integrates through the brain and the physical body. Okay, and as we go over the course of a lifetime, we actually know that the soul is integrating at the age of 7, has another quite a large integration, then at the age of 12, 13, into teenagehood in 21, 28. And so there's this big movement. So now our 4 bodies that I talk about with Diamond Matrix Masters, the physical, emotional, and spiritual, and the mental bodies. And of course, there's way more bodies. But just for the bones of this construct, the soul is actually integrating in through the heart chakra, which is now opening at this time. And as it opens, it's creating this organic connection to the greater me, to the greater you. It's happening for every single individual. And people don't understand what is actually taking place. But it can actually be a physical birthing of this opening of the heart chakra, and we help people do that through the diamond reconnection work that we do and the brain chemistry realignment to actually open up so that we can take on the higher frequencies of the multiverse now, the fifth dimension and above. So it's like learning how our actual framework works. But the reason I'm saying all of this is because it's based in self-governance. The self-governance of the soul is what we're actually birthing in at this time. The soul is descending to live here.
Yeah, I've also, from college, my homeopathy teacher, she's got PTSD because she saw somebody got run over by a train, so I gave her our link.
Yeah, right. That's pretty big, isn't it?
Yeah, so even her psychologist agrees that she should see an energy healer.
Oh, that is amazing. That is absolutely amazing.
Her psychologist and her both agree that she should do it. She should see some sort of healer.
Well, I hope she comes to us and gets the diamond, because we know that we can actually assist with that vibration. Okay, because that shock has come onto her system and is carried in her in her vibrational makeup, you know, and it has to be removed. Otherwise, it gets stuck in the system. And shock can actually pop parts of our soul, because the soul comes into the body in 12 parts.
Yeah, that's
ungrounded or whatever, can actually have parts of themselves popping out and rocking around the chakra system, around the auric field.
Yeah, that's what the psychologist and her agreed on, that the shock of seeing it would have opened her up a bit too much, and maybe some energy from that person who got run over might have come into her, and that's what they were saying. But the shock definitely...
Well, it's a theory. It's definitely a theory that could have taken place, but more that she would have been just totally popped open and formed stress within a like when you go through shock. If you fall down the stairs, you know what it's actually stamping you. That shock is actually stamping a fear into you. Okay, and as soon as that stamping happens, you're going to have vibrational reoccurrences of that. You know, you can't help but do that. Yeah, beautiful though. So but from a life-giving sense, okay, when I'm talking about the true governance of soul, it's so that you've got the life force within you, that we're actually recognizing that the greater within us is at one with our physicality, with the little pointy me, little pointy you. So I'm actually doing this as a recording for those who want to actually listen to it.
So, as I think as well, there's a lot of people, they think they're very spiritual, and they'll say, oh, you're not your body. Well, not in the way that an egg is a cake. It's more like a mix of things. You're a mix of things.
Well, I always say that the body is the fourth part. So we've got the triune being, which is the divine feminine, divine masculine, divine inner child in expression. And the fourth part is absolutely me. When I was told, my soul actually said to me one day and said, what was it? It was beautiful. It was saying, what is your total address? This was a question. It's so clever. It was like, what is your total address? And as I was going, what is my total address? I live at my physical address. I'm in my body, and suddenly I got whooshed up into soul, and it was like, I am my total address. I am my total address, my fourth part connected with my triune being. And so that's an immense action when we actually know that we are I cannot be separated from my soul. You know, when we actually break it up, no, that's the bit that we don't love, and this is the bit that we do love, because that's perfect, and this part's not.
Kill your ego brigade are pretty bad too.
Yeah, so we don't kill the egos, do we, Alexandra?
No, we balance them.
We integrate them with the great part of us, because in actual fact, that's the truth of the reality of a quantum human being. Okay, is that we are one. So it's just a beautiful message that we do have. And it's important for us to integrate the total self, all of me. I have every right to be here. You know, so like every part of me, I bought myself, I wrote the script. I've actually am unrolling in my own evolution. Okay, I have every right to be living this moment and doing the next and the next and the next. So because I am one with my own soul, okay, it's what keeps me upright on my feet. So I keep repeating these things, I know, but honestly, for any listener who doesn't realize that their soul keeps them upright on their feet, that's like the first question we always ask. If your soul pulled out of the top of your head right now, what would your body do?
So exactly, it falls to the ground.
It would fall on the ground. Simple science. I mean, it doesn't take, you know, a genius to work that one out. We actually all know that sooner or later the soul pulls out and it's called death. In actual fact, if we do it scientifically and talk scientifically, if your soul pulled out of the top of your head, yes, your body would fall on the ground because nothing's holding it up. So that is a pure demonstration of logic that it is soul that's keeping us upright on our feet. So soul is the energetic system within us. And I was listening to someone the other day, and they were saying so beautifully, it's not the soul in the body, it's actually the body in the soul. So we are this immense being of light, and the body is within the construct of that light. You know, it's a vibrational oneness. You can't actually distinguish between one or another. Time that we're in is for soul. Yeah, so soul is now coming in, and that's why the heart chakra has to organically be opened, okay, in a safe method. And it's time, and this is the diamond energy that is opening up the heart chakra permanently so that we can be a channel of light. Okay, and when we're a channel of light, soul is totally infused into my third dimensional experience. And therefore, we've got so much greater stuff coming this year. 2020 is full integration of heaven on the earth. So the meeting is one.
And this, a naturopath who I wrote for a few times in 2017, but I've been doing batches of social media posts for her. I snuck the Diamond Matrix Masters into one. Because she wanted a spiritual Thursday.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yep. One so far comes from us.
Well, I mean, this teaching has to hit the system. The beautiful part about the medical model is now we've got Reiki being infused. So even though Reiki is like the old system, it's like the old medical system is like at least coming into
something.
If we bring them up to speed, which will happen very quickly, I think they'll come into diamond pretty quick, because sooner or later, souls are actually popping right now because their soul is integrating whether we like it or not, because we actually are. We have the new Earth happening. So Lady Gaia is actually fully activated now in the fifth dimensional multiverse. Okay, so she's full raised. We've done that job, which has just been immense, just absolutely immense. And that is alive in our vibrational frequency. That is of a high vibration. So we can't actually not be popping. So people are popping in a good way or popping in a bad way, but either way, we're going to pop. And so we've got people living through things that we just can't explain. But I just might keep it as simple as that. We're going to head off at the moment. We only talk for about half an hour or so anyway, and I want to actually keep this as a recording. So I might keep it as simple as that, and just release that for people to have a think about or whatever, okay?
Yeah.
Diamond blessings. Talk to you soon.
Hey, talk soon.
See ya. Bye.
Bye-bye.